Hello, my friends, and welcome to our virtual celebration. I'm just so grateful that you are part of our community. I'm grateful that you have come to visit. I hope you find peace, insight. I hope you're a little challenged, but I also hope that you're comforted. And above all, I'm just grateful that your life, this one life, converges together. And so please enjoy.
Spirit in me. I feel the spirit in me. God's love is taking hold. We got enough love to find the magic. We got enough love to feel the power. We got enough love.
Thank you, Sonny Sampson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I will tell you, that is Angela's husband. So we're getting a twofer today. You probably haven't seen him before, and I've seen him before once from a distance, but I've never heard you sing. So we're looking forward to a lovely morning.
Mm-hmm.
A little change is going on. Lee's son came down with COVID. Guys is surfing in Hawaii. And I'm the boss, so don't give me any grief. You know, I come from a acting family. I don't have the skill, but I can get behind you and say the nastiest things you've ever heard. The guy said I'm on. I said, oh, the cats will play when the boss is away. And I have to tell you, if you haven't heard Angela, two of you hadn't and came back today so you could hear her. She is so inspiring, so kind, so loving, so wise that when I saw I was teamed up with her, I thought, oh, good. I just give her the ball and she runs with it. So we have a delightful morning ahead of us.
She does that at home, by the way.
Now, Sonny, tell us a little bit about I know we're a professor in San Francisco. Where's the music come in?
Well, I used to play in reggae bands and all of that kind of stuff years ago. But I've always loved music and grew up in the church. I just got my doctorate last August in education. Thank you. Thank you. Quite proud of that. It was a rugged journey, as you can imagine. And I'm here now. I've applied to some of the colleges to see what's happening, but I don't know what God has in mind, you know. So I'll see what I'll be doing, and I'll probably know in a month or so what's next.
Great to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and good to be here.
And if you haven't heard Angela, I should say Reverend Angela Geary, it's a pleasure to have you. I can't tell you. When I see your face, it's like, oh, good, Angela's here. We love Guy, and to have someone else come in, it's like a fresh shower. So I want to welcome you. I'm going to sit here because these legs just don't want to stay still. They like to jiggle. So I thought I can jiggle here sitting down. But I do want to welcome you, knowing that this is our morning of celebration, celebrating all the good that we are. And I was thinking about that this morning. I go straight into gratitude. Gratitude that we're here together. Gratitude that we have this service. gratitude for all the things that go on in the center. Oh, okay, Jeff. And glad I have a guy in the back telling me to hold the mic up. So I don't know if a day goes by that I don't go into gratitude. Sometimes things are rough, and staying there makes the journey too long and hard. And if you've been on that journey, join me in gratitude for all that we have to be grateful for and praying that things will unfold in a divine way. I wasn't real clear on the theme for today, so I picked my own. I didn't write it. But I don't know who the author is, so I'll say I wrote it. And I'll do the reading, and then we'll do a 3-minute meditation. And Sunny is going to. Oh, you'll do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Before and after. After I read this, then you go for it, babe. When you come to the edge of all the light you have and must take a step into the darkness of the unknown, know that one of two things will happen. Either there will be something solid to stand on, or you will be taught to fly. You will be taught to fly. Here goes. Slowly come back to this planet. Open your eyes slowly with a smile on your face, and we get to hear another song from Sonny Sampson.
Let the love we're sharing spread its wings, fly across the world and bring true joy to every soul that is alive. May all the people in all the world be happy. May all the people in all the world find peace. Let the love we're sharing spread its wings, fly across the world and bring true joy to every soul that is alive. May all the people in all the world be happy. May all the people in all the world find peace.
Morning, everybody. I don't think I need an intro. Thanks, Sonny. So fun to be here. It's always fun to be here. I'm told if I stand here, it's better for the camera. So I'm going to try and keep myself in spot, but you know how I like to move around. So it's always fun to be back with you. You know, I love you all so much. I love this community. And it's especially fun to be here this morning with Sonny. So this is our first time since COVID really doing live ministry together again. We do a Zoom thing every Sunday, but so that's really fun. So with that, let's take a deep breath and settle in. So Carol Baker, in her book Undaunted, says that our fear grasp on hope keeps us from resting in and being in the mystery of these times, that we're so focused on the outcome that of what's going on and what's going to happen that we miss the mystery and the opportunities that are available during this ordained crisis, as Andrew Harvey calls it, this ordained crisis. This is a unprecedented time on the planet, as we all know, and divine love is a mystery. And spirit works in mysterious and strange ways. And if we're so focused on wanting this to be over or wanting this to change, or wanting something to be different, or, you know, just hoping above hope for something, we miss just being in this. So the invitation is to let that divine love, let ourselves to be infused with that mysterious love of spirit so that we can be ignited with it. And that will give us the perseverance, that will give us the strength and the courage that we need to make it through. So to see this as an opportunity amidst a crisis, I think is, you know, the way to frame it. And I go back to these ancient texts that give us so much wisdom around this. And this morning, I wanted to talk a little about the ancient Hindu text, the Bhagavad Gita. And it talks to this mystery of spirit. It talks about going beyond the intellect, going beyond what our thinking mind can comprehend, because we really can't comprehend things, but to go to spirit. And many of you know the Bhagavad Gita story. It's the story of the great warrior Arjuna, and his charioteer is Krishna. And Krishna, of course, is God, but he doesn't identify himself as God. So Arjuna doesn't know he's God. And they come to the front of a battlefield. And that Arjuna, the great warrior, is supposed to fight in. And as he looks out over the battle, he sees his kinsmen, his family, his friends on the other side. And he is devastated. He says this battle will tear apart the very fabric of the universe. I think these times, this COVID, this everything we're going through is tearing apart the very fabric of our universe. And it's doing so to make room for something magnificent and wonderful. So we have to breathe in through, right? He says, he stands there, Arjuna stands there and he says, if I don't fight this battle, I'll accrue karma because it is my dharma. It is what I'm here to do, my contract, my calling. If I do fight this battle and kill my friends and my kinsmen, I'll accrue karma. I'll accrue karma too. I don't know what to do. Let me see exactly what he says. He says, fate, destiny has called me here. I'm a great warrior, and I have been placed here by something greater than myself. I've been placed here by something greater than myself to face something that is inevitable. I cannot leave and I cannot fight. I cannot leave and I cannot fight. And Krishna at this point makes himself known as God, and he embraces Arjuna and he says to him, take refuge in me. Take refuge in me. I am the way. In other words, zoom out, expand, see this from the mystery of the unknown, the mystery of spirit itself. With the mere mortal mind, Arjuna was never going to understand why he had to fight that battle. With the mere physical realm, he could not grasp it. So we take refuge. We take refuge in spirit during these times. We take refuge in the knowing that we may not understand what's happening. And these are intense time in a lot of our personal lives. I'm just, hearing so many stories, things that are going on that are painful collectively. And when we're in fear, we want to know. We want to make sense of it. I'm seeing everybody nodding. Yeah, that's what we do, right? We want to wrap our minds around it. If I can just understand it, and if I can just know that it's going to be another year and then everything's going to be fine, I'll be all right. That's okay. And I think the great calling for all of us, not just Arjuna, is to rest in the unknown. We're being called to rest in the mystery, to rest in the unknown, to have the faith of God, Goddess itself, and trust that there's a greater plan. Because here's what Krishna says to Arjuna. Life has its wisdom. Many will die in this battle. Every mortal body that shed, its soul will find another one. After every death comes life. After every life comes death. I have set it up this way. It's all divinely ordained. It's all divinely ordained. We don't have to like it. We don't have to understand it. We can feel deeply about it. But if we can know with every fiber of our being that this is part of the divine plan, and that there's a power for good. Spirit is a power for good. This is not punishment. And that there's a greater plan afoot here. Something wonderful beyond what we can understand. So when we wonder why we get strange callings from God, when we wonder why our life is changing more than we can handle, we rest in this divine ordination. Trusting Spirit. You know, Sonny's family does a Zoom call periodically, and most of his family is from New York. And the last time we met was actually 9/11, last Sunday or whenever it was. And the family were kind of sharing where they were when 9/11 happened. And I think Charisse, your niece, was sharing how a few months before the attack happened, she had been offered a job on the 27th floor, 77th? 77th floor of the tower. It was a job that paid a lot more money than she was making. It was a great opportunity. It was a little bit further away from her daughter's school than she felt kind of comfortable with. So she said, you know, I prayed on it. I gave it to God. What was that expression she used? I put my plate down. I turned my plate over. Love that expression. She's Christian, but you know, I turned my plate over. I surrendered it to God. And she decided not to take the job. And the person that took that job later died from complications of the asbestos, you know, like a lot of people. So we don't always know why in the moment, why things are happening the way they're happening. We don't always know why or how come we're being called to a certain something, whatever it is. But we can trust that we'll be divinely led and guided if we let Spirit, like she did, let Spirit guide. Rumi says, the lovers are never abandoned by destiny. Destiny will unveil to them the sign that they will need and hold out to them in a golden cup the wine they are thirsty for. Spirit will hold out to us in a golden cup the wine that we are thirsty for. God will never let us down. That's not God's agenda, to let us down. We're not being forsaken. We are being shaken to our very core right now because something new is emerging. We are in a birthing process. You know, Andrew Harvey talks about in 1996 meeting one of his teachers, Father Bede. And Father Bede talked about having a massive stroke one day that he said it was like the left side of his brain just kind of collapsed completely and left him with just his right brain. He said he experienced the most profound, mysterious unity and love with everyone and everything from that stroke. He got totally opened up to the divine feminine energy of God. This is the time for divine feminine to rise. And what he predicted this is so fascinating to me, in 1996 is that this was that it was possible for the human future and the birth of the divine in matter, that the birth will happen within all beings, that what he had experienced, which was this rising up into this mystery, into this unity, into this non-dual consciousness, into this loving, compassionate heart where he felt, embodied, experienced his oneness with everything and everyone, what he predicted was that it was going to happen to everybody, but that it would happen through a crisis. So let me read what exactly. The birthing of a divine humanity on a large scale is the real meaning of what some people call the second coming. The Christ does not need to return as a person. Jesus, in time and history, opened this path for us. Now what I believe will happen is that the Christ consciousness, or if you prefer, the divine love consciousness, will be born on a massive scale in hundreds of thousands of people. This is a miracle greater than any outer rescuing by God could ever be. We are going to be rescued from within through a massive alchemical process in which the whole of history will take part as a midwife of the new. We're here. That which he predicted is happening now. And he said, Father Bede said, it would happen through an immense crisis or through several smaller but equally intense crises. And that what's happening is it's like we're in this cauldron of fire right now. That the old is falling away. It will plunge humanity into a cauldron of chaos, birth, and death, which are two sides of one transformation. Out of this explosion, within the cauldron of chaos, will come a new order, which we can glimpse of, but cannot completely foresee or understand. We're in the cauldron. We're being washed around in the washer right now. You feel it, right? We're in that which was predicted. But it was predicted by someone who touched the mystery of spirit. It was predicted by someone who saw with the eyes of spirit. And see, we have to move beyond this tension of opposites. In the human realm, there's good and bad. In the human realm, there's, right and wrong. But when we get to that mysterious realm of spirit, there are no opposites. Just like Arjuna fighting the battle, which he eventually did because he surrendered to God. That we just have to keep knowing that everything that's happening is happening for a reason. And we hold tight to each other. We hold tight to spirit. We hold tight to these principles and these teachings that we've been talking about for decades, most of us in the room now, right? Either God is all there is, or that's not true. If God is all there is, then God is in this mess too. I love to say sometimes God is messy. Sometimes God is messy because there has to be a burning away and a falling away of the paradigms and the systems and the ego consciousness that have gotten us in this mess in the first place. We're being called to leave this horizontal realm, this physical self, this ego self, and live more as the divine beings that we're born to be. Ultimately, what is being called forth in this cauldron is the falling away of ego consciousness and the stepping into and the claiming of the divine love that we always have been, we always will be, and we always are. You take a breath. And it mirrors in the inner realm what happens in the outer realm in nature. There's an intricate dance of death and rebirth in nature, is there not? We see that. If an ear of corn does not die in the dark depths of the soil, the corn does not rise in golden abundance. There has to be. We're going through a death right now. Death of ourselves as we knew it. Death of this world maybe as we knew it. And we're creating room for the new. We're creating room for something magnificent and wonderful. And it's our faith, I do believe. It's our faith that keeps us keeping on through it all. I just, by the way, have no sense of time. So that clock's on 0. So just, I know I tend to go on, so I want to be mindful. Okay, thank you. Right. Okay. I'm almost done, actually, right? So I want to read, there's a song by Coulter. Some of you may or may not have heard about Coulter. She was actually around, in the 90s, and she still is, but I love the lyrics to her songs. And there's a song called Pulling in the Oars that as I was preparing this talk, I'm not going to sing it, don't worry. I leave the singing to Sunny. But it goes like this. I'm just going to read a couple of verses from it because it's so appropriate here. And I surrender to the mystery. In the lap of God, I rest my case. The force that bore this world can carry me. Who am I to question grace? So drown me in your darkest pain, your softest kiss, your sweet despair. I've seen your face now, and I know your name, and I can find you anywhere. I surrender to the mystery and to the love that rises up to sing. Come what may, I vow to wait and see. I really don't know anything. I surrender to the mystery and to the love that rises up to sing. The force that bore this world can carry me. I really don't know anything. We really don't know anything. We have to put that we don't know. I love that the Buddhists talk about the beginner's mind, right? Coming fresh. Like we don't know. Tumbling. I know I thought I knew so much. Anyone else? We knew so much. And we read the books, right? And even those challenging books like The Science of Mind, Text, and, the Joel Goldsmith, not challenging in a good way, but, you make your way through it. And you're like, oh, I got this. I got this in here. I think we're being called to get it in a different way. Spirit cannot be, I saw that, I think Rev Guy had written something like this, you can't think your way to God. We can't work it all out. See, there's something that has to be surrendered. This needing to understand with the mind, this needing to wrap our brain around it. No. Just imagine right now. Let's play. Let's just imagine we're all sitting under a night sky right now. That the very fabric of the universe is being torn apart. And just imagine that we're hooked in to the mystery. We're hooked in to infinite intelligence. We're hooked in to divine love right now. Let's just imagine that crown chakra, top of the head, wide open. These are the energy centers I believe we're being called to open. that's the third eye, the sixth chakra that sees with intuition and knowing, and the crown chakra that connects us with the mystical, with the mysterious, with the divine love, with the beauty of spirit. So we're all sitting there under this night sky. We're feeling ourselves. Let's hook our power into that network. Let's imagine we're hooked in. We're dialed in. And that infinite intelligence and that mystery and that divine love within us is merging with the universal mystery and divine love all at the same time. We're wire ourselves into a network greater than we can ever imagine. A mystical network, a realm of miracles. We move away from giving all our energy to the conditions, to the circumstances, to the challenges, to the pains, to the all of it. We move away, we unhook from that. And we go to God. We dial in. We rest in that. We let it fill us. The unknown, where we can close our eyes and radiate nothing but love. And it doesn't matter that we can't see it because we know it works. We can't see love. We can't see divine mystery. We can't even explain it, but we know it works. And love is God and God is love. So let us just open up to that. Let us be those vessels through which this divine love has its way. We shred the mantle of needing to know. We shred the mantle of needing a reward or a thank you. We are doing God's work in consciousness now. That's what we're being called to stand as the spiritual warriors that we are. For all of us that have been studying and praying and meditating and all of that for so long, what the calling, the more of us that can stand rooted in this truth of the divine power of love and the mystery of spirit, the more things are going to change and shift, and we're going to be catapulted into something magnificent and new. Let's not be fooled by the world of form. Let us remember there's a greater plan afoot. Let us remember there's a greater power afoot. Let us remember that power beats our heart and breathes our breath and lives and moves and has its being through and as us. Who we are, the spirit. And we have become over-identified with these bodies, with these thoughts, with these feelings, with these conditions, and ain't it awful and terrible? And how dare they? And how could she? And what's he think he's doing? We've gotten caught up in all of that we've forgotten our oneness. We've forgotten the divine play always at work. And we receive this sense of grace that comes from knowing that all life breathes together. One life, one power, one breath, one heart. We're all in this. We're all connected. As we are sitting under that night sky together, you and I, our consciousness is one. There's no separate. There's no place where I leave off and Paul begins. We're all one. It's when we come down into these separate bodies, right? In this physical world that the separation starts. One beautiful energy, one bright light are we, strong. The fabric of our universe is being torn apart. It's true. And it's okay. We shed the fabric of the ego and we tap in to our highest and greatest and most resilient and most powerful and most loving self. And we rest. Can we rest in the mystery? Can we rest in the unknown? Can we rest in trusting the power of divine love to overcome, to rise up, to rise strong again and again and again, no matter what forces are at play? We trust Spirit. We hold on tight to each other in this cold room. It isn't pretty and it isn't easy. So let's get support. Let's get prayer support. Let's get support from our practitioners, from our ministers, from our therapists, from our healers, from each other. We're not alone in this. And we can do this. I know we can. Because we are the power and we are the love that God is. And let us pray right now. Let us pray into that infinite intelligence, that one love, that one heart. Let us know that over, above, beneath, and beyond it all is this sweet tenderness, is this divine grace, is this infinite power and this divine love upon which we can always rely. And let us know that it's light that shines forth as this manifest universe of ours and as all beings everywhere. I remember my oneness with it this Sunday morning, and knowing this to be the truth about me, I know this to be the truth about each one of us in this room and all the sentient beings everywhere. We're aligned with, we're wired into that divine power and that infinite love of Spirit. There is no doubt about it. So I'm just simply knowing for us this day that we remember who we are. Divine beings, having a very human experience right now. And we give all our power and we give all our attention and we give all our energy to the Christ consciousness, to the divine consciousness, whatever we call it, to the light within us. And as we put our energy and attention and focus there, it expands, it grows. We turn away from this world of illusion. We turn away from thinking we can work this out with our intellect and with our minds, and we give all to love this day, and we give all to Spirit's wisdom this day, and we stand with those qualities of the divine feminine, with our intuitive knowing, with our compassion, with our kindness, and yet with our fierceness too. We stand up and we stand strong. This is not a wimpy kind of love. And we love fiercely, and we love greatly, and we trust that no matter what is happening, love is the greatest power. So grateful to know these truths this morning. So grateful that we chose, each of us, to be on the planet at this time. No mistakes in God. All is divinely ordained. We chose to be in this cauldron together. We chose to be in that washing machine, being spun around and wringed out and wrung dry, because we're up for the journey. So grateful we're up for the journey. And I give thanks for knowing that oneness and unity is greater than separation, that love is greater than fear. I know that. And that the highest vibration is always the one that prevails, because the light cancels out the darkness. Grateful to know we stand in the light as the light. We are the way. We can take refuge in Spirit within us, around us, through and as us. And with such a grateful heart, I rest in the power of these words I speak. I rest in the God divine Spirit power within us all. I set the law of attraction into motion. I stand with faith and conviction in the knowing that all is done already. It truly is in the mind of God. It already exists as a possibility. The more attention we put on it the more that moves from the unknown and the unseen into the seen, into our lives and into the life of this planet. It's all done in the mind of God. I let it rest. I let it be. And so it is.
Is she good or what? I was sorry I wasn't taking notes. I was telling Amy, you got to take notes. You know, I liked many things you said, but one of the things that cracked me up is we don't have a wimpy God. I realize I'm the wimp, Mm-hmm. So take those words. Sunday's going to sing another song for us, and then we'll get on with it.
Thank you, Reverend. When dark clouds fill the sky, hiding sunlight from your eyes, say God's name, see God's form, and hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Say God's name, see God's form, and hold on. Keep a smile and say I can love and serve across this land. Say God's name, see God's form, and hold on. Hold on. Wait. I realize I can get your company with me on that. Hold on. We can do that together. I'm sorry, it just occurred to me mid-verse, so I'll cue you, and then we'll rock that hold on part together. Okay. Sorry. When sunshine fills the sky, hide in love the sun. Say God's name, see God's form, and hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on. Say God's name, see God's form, and hold on. Let's do that again. Hold on. Hold on. Say God's name, see God's form, and hold on. You know we're gonna make it. The Reverend said we will. We're gonna get through. We'll never be abandoned. God is loving me and you. Hold on. Hold on. Say God's name, see God's form, and hold on. So when things are getting rough and you feel you had enough, say God's name, see God's form, and hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Say God's name, see God's form, and hold on. Say God's name, see God's form, and hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Say God's name, see God's form and hold on. Amen.
Dr. Sonny Sampson. Did you hear me, Dr. Sonny Sampson? And Reverend Angela Geary. We are so blessed. I hope you get that. I feel so blessed. Her talk gets to me. His music is wonderful. I'd love to see you both back here as a team. That would be awesome.
Yes.
And I don't know if you know that Angela is living now in Southern California. Yeah. I just want to thank, I realized I didn't thank Jeff, who stepped in for Jamie today. Jamie is homesick, so the crew stepped in, and I want to say thank you, Jeff. And of course, we always have Geary. I don't know if you guys know how long Gary's been doing our collection. So thank you all for coming. This is the time that we do ask for you to express. They're joking back there. Shape up. I want your money. So if you will put your tithe to your heart, knowing that that is where it's coming, it's a
I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to make an announcement that we have two events coming. Andrea and our new practitioner from the northern, I think she's in Oregon, Sherry, are going to be doing a class on, I forgot. Spiritual economics, that, and then we also have Tim Braun, who's a psychic medium. If you haven't experienced the wonderful ride you will take with him, he limits how many people can come in, so most likely he will connect with someone for you. I've seen him here a couple times, and then my kids decided I needed a private session, which was wonderful. So anyway, those two things, there's a sign-up sheet in the foyer where you can sign up for the class, and Sunny's going to sing one more song, and then Angela, Reverend Angela, Dr. Sunny, Reverend Angela is going to pray us out. So here we go.
Okay. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, yes, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. For the poor and the hungry folks, I'm gonna let it shine. for the poor and the hungry folks. I'm gonna let it shine. The poor and the hungry folks. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Everybody, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine every day. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. 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 I just wrote that one. Okay. Anyway.
All right. So wonderful to be with you all. Why don't we stand, and we're comfortable. I don't know, where are we on holding hands these days, but to feel kind of a sense of connecting with each other. And if you feel comfortable holding hands, I think that's wonderful. Let's just feel into our oneness. Let's feel into that beautiful light of ours that is shining. Let us give thanks for this wonderful celebration time together. Let us give thanks to Reverend Guy Williams for being the spiritual director here and keeping on, keeping on. And let us leave lifted. Let us shine our light to everywhere we go and with everyone we meet. And let's be gentle with ourselves. Let's be gentle with each other. And let us know and let us not forget that God's got this and God's got our back. And with a grateful heart, I let it be. And so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Amen.